I'm going to show you how to find the height of a tall, distant object using angles. All right, so let's imagine that you're interested in finding the height of a tall object that's far away from you. An object like the side of a building, or maybe a tree, or a flagpole. We'll say that the height of that object is h. In order to do this, you need a device that allows you to find the angle of elevation. And you're probably going to be using the heightometer, which is something that's included in this unit plan. All right, so in order to figure out the height, you're going to need to use some math and you're going to need to collect some data. The first piece of data that you're going to need to collect is the distance that you're standing away from the tall object. It should be pretty far, around 50 meters. You don't want to be standing really close to this object. So here you are, standing a distance far away from your tall object. Notice that I'm showing you and the top of your head here, or your eye level. Now you're going to use your heightometer. And with the heightometer, if you sight it at the top of the object, you're going to collect an angle measurement. The angle measurement that you're collecting is the angle between the object and this hypotenuse, okay? And that's really the only information that you need. You need the angle that comes from the heightometer and the distance away. Now let's talk about the math and how to calculate the height of the object. Okay, so you may recall that in trigonometry, if you know the opposite and adjacent sides of a right triangle, you can use the tangent of the angle to find the length of one of the sides, or the angle. So I'm going to set up an equation, and it goes like this. Tangent of the opposite side, so in this case, the opposite side is right here. Over the adjacent side. And in this case, the adjacent side of the triangle is right here. And so I just want to point out to you that you need to make a little adjustment with your tangent equals opposite over adjacent equation to account for the fact that you have some height relative to the tall object. So if you look here, the opposite side is actually the entire h of the object. See how the h went from here to here? Minus your height. And then the adjacent side is still that distance away, because these are exactly the same lengths, it's the distance away. So in order to solve for h, you know what your height is, and you know what the distance is. There's only one caveat: make sure they're in the same units. So if you measured your distance in meters, your height also needs to be in meters. Don't use inches here and meters here, you're going to come out with the wrong answer. So convert your height into meters and distance into meters as well. You don't know the h, but that's what you're going to solve for by using a teeny tiny little bit of algebra. Over here, the tangent is a function. It's a button on your calculator. So that's not really an unknown. It's sort of something that happens to the angle number, which should be in degrees. So make sure that the calculator is set in degrees. You put the angle in, you press tangent, and then you manipulate this equation a little bit to get the h of your unknown object. And that's how you find the height of a tall, distant object using angles.